Magdalene. A vibrant planet blessed by the light of the crystal. Amid azure seas, encompassing the westernmost of the 3 great continents, there lies a realm embraced by gods and forged by heroes. Her name, Eorzea. The annals of Eorzean history chart the rise of a succession of great civilizations, each one enjoying an age of peace, the Astral Eras. To date, all have proven ephemeral. In the year 1572 of the 6th and most recent Astral Era, the Northern Empire of Dalamud amassed a great army at the heart of Eorzea, seeking dominion over all. Rising in desperate resistance, the forces of the Eorzean Alliance met their would-be conquerors in the field. Yet, even as the battle raged, the lesser moon, Dalamud, was plucked from the heavens through imperial machination. From its core emerged the elder primal Bahamut, who unleashed his fury upon the realm. The devastation brought Eorzea to its knees and the era to its end. 5 years have come and gone. The light of life still shines upon Eorzea. Man labors tirelessly to raise himself from the calamity's ruin. The realm is forever changed, a stranger to him once more. Yet heedless of what lies ahead, he shall press on. Spurred by the promise of peace and prosperity. Amid this period of great change, an adventurer arrives in Eorzea, one whose tale is yet unwritten. May he ever walk in the light of the crystal.
And may you walk in the light of the crystal. Alright, no, let's check these volumes, make sure. Oh, that's definitely not right. Maybe like that. That might be good. Okay. And, no special. I'm gonna turn that down just a little. Well, no, actually, we'll keep that up. We'll turn the sound effects down just a little bit. Okay. No previously on, because last time all we did was side quests. We did not do any MSQ. The last we were at, Gale was called. We had finished up at Sistasha, and once we went back and checked in with Bateron, he said Gridania needs help, and we went, sounds good, but first we want to go meet all the people of Aleport and catch up in our Marauder quest, so we did that, and then I ended a little early because my FC mates over on Raken wanted to go run some Ruby EX, so I hopped off Gale and went and did that. So we opened today with the Call of the Forest and finally going to help Gridania. except apparently I didn't finish my warrior. Oh, no, I didn't because I got called. Alright, we're gonna go finish this. And then we'll go Call to the Forest. Because that will get Gale everything he needs up to the level he's currently at. And we are not running around with that minion today. What did we pull? Oh, okay. Oh, alright, I'm speaking with his sister at the Bismarck, because she likes to hang out at the Bismarck. You've word from my brother? Ha! The pride of the guild, eh? My brother has placed quite a burden on your shoulders, it seems. From what I have witnessed, if any marauder has the skill and determination to put down Kujata, then it is you. And there is, of course, the matter of Sickheart's vengeance. You don't want to disappoint the poor boy now, do you? Let us be about this trial, Gale. I shall meet you on the Salt Strand in Lower Lenosha, where your training is to take place. Well, naturally, I will be there. Without me, you'd like to forget to tend your wounds and bleed to death. Yeah, because I'm not a warrior yet. Alright. Best way to get to the Salt Strand. That's the ship. Really is just to go to Moraby Dry Docks. So let's just go to Moraby Dry Docks. I have 10,000 gil. I can take the teleport. What's the point of being in Eorzea if you can't use teleports? I still don't have a mount, though. Guess we're hoofing it. I am gonna grab my pillow to force myself to sit more up straight, since I didn't give myself a lot of headroom. Okay. No slouching. Well, this should be the place. I don't see... do you sense that encroaching aura of violence, Gale? Pray, unlimber that axe of yours. Actually, let me check my weapon, because I feel like I did something stupid the other day. Why would I want the weather +1 of everything? Vitality, mind, intelligence, direct, vitality, mind, strength. Okay. Okay. Because soul bond doesn't matter like that anymore. That seems to be the last of them. Compared to what we've had to face before, though, it wasn't terribly... So, this is the indomitable Gale Fairheart. Soaklib. Who in the seven hells are you? Wait, is that... We have deemed you worthy of our challenge. Come, Marauder, let us test the edge of your steel. Oh, brother. Defeat the masked marauders. Familiar. Familiar Marauder. It seems my underlings have provided you with poor sport. Very well. I shall take your measure with mine own blade. We just fought. Do not think to show me quarter, Gale, for I will surely show you none. I'm spent. I'm doing quite well, thank you. Oh, I have stone skin on. Ow. I yield. Your strength has humbled us all. Aye, it might be just enough. We are done here, my colleagues. Drag away those who cannot stand. Your display of prowess was truly impressive, Gale. Worthy, indeed. What a ridiculous charade. Did he honestly think we couldn't see through those paltry disguises? Though I am confident my brother's act was not born of malice, rather he was hoping by concealing his identity that the trial would seem more threatening, thus increasing its effectiveness. Not an entirely successful undertaking, but one must appreciate his intentions. It is time you return to the guild. Oh, and as a favor to me, pray indulge Werzoin in his little deception. Subterfuge is not a marauder's forte. No, that's right. now I can lean back and feel like I'm not going out of shot. Okay. Gale, I have heard of your skirmish on the Salt Strand. You did well to topple opponents of such formidable skill. But let us not dwell on the nature of those masked men. What is important is your triumph in the face of overwhelming odds. Your fellow marauders are honored to have you swing your axe in the guild's name. They stand behind you, one and all, as you prepare to overcome your greatest trial yet. Aye, the time has come for you to bring Kujata's bloody rampage to an end. When next he rears his horrible horned head, you shall be ready to bury your blade in his skull. Oh, I don't like those that... I don't like tin can. I don't like tin can. I don't like tin can. I'm gonna have to tin can, aren't I? Try on. Ugh, and it's green? Gods, yeah, and it's better. Let's do the pants for now. And let's go dye them before we go to Gridania, please. Not that I remember which one is. You, Diemonger! Alright, what do we want? Oh, I can't die yet, can I? Oh, how horrid. Horrid, I say. That tastes so much better. Alright, to the forest. Ready to hear about that job then? Like I said, the request comes from our sister guild in Gridania. And that's all I know. But whatever it is you're asked to do, I somehow doubt it'll pose any trouble for a venturer who's survived the bedlam in Sastasha. If you think you might be interested, you'll want to have words with Mother Minue, my counterpart in Gridania. Good luck, mate. Off to Gridania we go. Let's progo. Take a seat wherever you like, friend. Our waitress will come to take your... Oh, not here to dine. Dare I hope that you're the adventurer Baderon sent word about? You are! The matron be praised. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Mion, and the Carline Canopy is my place. With regard to the task in question, there is a fair bit to tell. Let me know when you're ready to hear the details, and I shall brief you. Welcome to the Carline Canopy. Should you need help with anything, please don't hesitate to ask. Why is it called the Carline? I once asked Mion the very same question. She told me she simply liked the flower. The look in her eyes when she said it, though, well, I suppose we all have our secrets. There's going to be had hunting bandits, I'll grant you that, but there's times when I long to do something more worthy of a song. Gridanian food is as bland as it gets. I had heard the rumors, but gods the water had more flavor. I don't give two shites about how the food tastes. All I need is drink. Crunch, 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 crunch. My father always said, masticate in moderation. I don't understand these Gridanians. They make a great show of doubting us adventurers, yet place their trust in beings they can't even see. Where's the reason in that, I ask you? I heard that some elementals showed themselves when enraged. Call me reckless, but I'd love to see one in the flesh, or whatever the hells it is they're made of. Alright, I'm ready. Ready for the briefing? Good now. Then here's the long and short of it. Beg pardons for interrupting, Mion, but our need grows ever more pressing. Have none stepped forward? And good evening to you too, Bowlord. Your need must be pressing indeed for you to honor us with a visit. The good news is, your journey hasn't been wasted. I'm pleased to report that we have a volunteer at last, and one who comes highly recommended at that. My thanks for answering the call, friend. My name is Lewin, and I lead the men and women of the God's Quiver. Now, time is of the essence, so I shall proceed directly to the heart of the matter. We wish for you to nip a potential threat to Gridania in the bud. Beneath the central shroud, there lies an underground burial site called the Tam-Tara Deepcroft. The place was once a Galmoran settlement, but we Gridanians have long interred our dead there. Of late, however, shadowy figures have been seen skulking about the Deepcroft, and with ever-increasing regularity. Based on the accounts of various witnesses, we suspect that these individuals belong to the Lambs of Dalamud, a doomsday cult which sprung up prior to the calamity. These zealots have proven themselves dangerous in the past, and we leave them to their own devices at our peril. Ordinarily, I would have dispatched my best men to scour the Deepcroft with orders to flush the cultists out. Alas, the calamity decimated our ranks, and the limited forces at my disposal are constantly required to keep the Ixal at bay. The birdmen have grown restless of late, and I fear a storm may be brewing. In anticipation of this, I have been compelled to spread out forces throughout the Twelveswood, lest we be taken unawares. The situation so being, we must turn to others to deal with the Lambs of Dalamud. Can we rely on you to undertake this task, friend? Of course. You have my gratitude. Once you've seen to your preparations, pray make your way to the Deepcroft and identify yourself to the guard posted at the entrance. He will apprise you of the latest developments. That is all. Be careful out there, you hear? May the crystal guide you and keep you. All the ways down there. Okay. Nothing here to get, so we'll just head that way. You're one of them adventurers, aren't ye? Gridania fair swarms with outsiders of late. Can't walk 10 bloody yalms without bumping into one. Don't be taking this the wrong way. We appreciate the hard work you do and all, but 'tis hard to be at ease when scores of strangers walk through your home every day. It is by the blessing of the elements that we Gridanians dwell in the 12 Woods. See to it that you do not which brings our people to grief. Watch where you're driving that fat chocobo. This here's the Bannock, where twin adder recruits are drilled. You're free to observe, but see to it you don't get in anyone's way. I keep my eyes peeled for deserting recruits, not beasties. We whalers work our young ones hard, I'll cry that. The Order of the Twin Adder makes no distinction between newcome adventurers and forest-born Gridanians. Your worth as a soldier is measured by your dedication to the cause. Ah, perfect timing. I was just looking for a likely lad to track down some Twin Adder initiates. 3 of our newest recruits have failed to report for training, exhausted from a month of solid drills, I expect. Considering the current physical state, I rather doubt they've wandered far. Oh gods, please don't mention wild beasts or blood. They're fine, I'm sure of it. Seek out my wayward troops and tell them to report back me on the double. Oh there, adventurer. If it is work you seek, then look no further. Instructor Maristel needs a volunteer to bring him some bog yarvin shells for the recruits to practice on. You'll find Yarzans in the river south of here. Once you've pried the carapaces from 4 of the creatures, take them to the instructor. Just a few more moments, Mother? Huh? Sergeant Camazon? F droppings? I must be late for training. Oh, that was a curse. F droppings. As quartermaster of the Wood Whalers of the First Spear, I'm responsible for the procurement and distribution of all supplies. Should you have a talent for crafting or gathering, I would appreciate it if you could spare the time to complete one of our unit's guild leaves. Galfred Mossback has led many good men into battle, and done his damnedest to see them hold safely. He knows all too well what terrors the forest hold, and his determination to prepare our recruits to face them is expressed in his relentless approach to our training. No matter how true the arrows fly, archers with eyes only for their targets have no place in the battlefield. One must always mind one's surrounding and strike where and when the enemy at large will feel it most keenly. Can you not see I am attempting to become one with nature? Leave me be, good sir. What? Sergeant Camazon sent you? Matron's teats, I better get back before she shakes her boot one with my backside. Makes her boot one with my backside. Such a soothing sound. One day I shall build a home by the river. Huh? Who are... You say the sergeant's looking for me? How long have I been here? What bell is it now? Stand aside, I must make haste. Thank you, Gale. All the initiates are now present and accounted for. It's always the same, you know. A handful of recruits invariably lose focus a short while after being assigned to their new unit. The first rush of tension and excitement wears off, and the strain from constant trills begins to show. Reprimanding them isn't always the best solution, though. I've their morale to think about, after all. Still, I might give them a quick blast for good measure. What can I say? This is one battle I'm not afraid to fight. We once relied on the elementals to protect the Twelveswood, but with their power now diminished, it falls to us to shoulder this burden. The bannock was built for this very purpose. It is a tangible symbol of the commitment both the Elder Seedseer and the Order of Twin Adder have made to maintaining the balance of the forest. chosen to train? Not any recruit? Then what? Ah, the arson shells I ordered Marlin to requisition. I see he's learned to delegate authority, if nothing else. Now that I have these carapaces, I can set my recruits some specialized drills. They are already adept at hitting a target, of course, but they need practical knowledge of exactly where a monster like a Yarzan is most vulnerable. Thanks to your efforts, I've no doubt they will fare rather better against the creatures when called upon. You should be proud of yourself. Both they and the Bannock are safer for your help. Aw, thanks. What's that quest? Oh, that opens the lavender pits. Even a forest-born Gridanian must take care when abroad in the Twelveswood. I would not plan any romantic moonlit strolls through the trees if I were you. If you travel to the west of here, you'll find Bentbranch Meadows and the twin adder training ground known as the Bannock. There are sure to be folks at either place who could do with a helping hand. Chocobos are the key to supply transport, and Bentbranch Meadows raises a fine flock. Have you put a hand to our aetheryte yet? If you're planning on exploring the area, you'd be wise to attune yourself first. I but recently returned to Gridania to find the Twelveswood markedly recovered from the devastation left in the wake of the calamity. My heart stirs to see new life sprouting amidst the ruin. It truly it does. Yet I cannot help but remember the land as it once was. As much as I enjoy reminding adventurers of their ignorance of our ways, I'm afraid our stock of supplies requires my attention. It takes more than just Geishel. I always pronounce that Geishel. Gasol greens and whistles to raise chocobos, you know. I want the H and the A to be the other way around. I always have. Caring for chocobos is far more exhausting than it looks. If you say so. Wander where you will, adventurer, but know that the forest will not suffer those who do not belong beneath its boughs to remain forever. Correct me if I'm wrong, but are you not an adventurer? I've seen you running to and fro, face set in grim determination as adventurers are wont to do, hence my presumption. If so, I've information which might interest you. Rumor has it that plots within the lavender beds are to be auctioned off. What's more, bidders need not even be Gridanian. Any old adventurer or wandering minstrel could, with sufficient funds and available plots, purchase land and build their own home, and proper RNG. Considering how discerning the elementals tend to be about who can and cannot reside within the Twelveswood, it's rather surprising, if not hard to believe. But if there is truth to these rumors, well, who hasn't dreamed of owning their own forest cottage, perhaps with a small vegetable garden and a stable large enough for a chocobo or two? You know, should your travels take you to the mirror planks where the ferry to the lavender beds is, perhaps you'll find a Twin Adder representative who can tell you more. I would be shocked if they weren't involved in such a monumental change in policy. Check it out when I head that way. But let's go see the chocobos first. The trick to chocobo breeding is not, as some assume, to slavishly adhere to an established set of procedures. No, one's main concern should be to maintain a safe and happy environment for the birds. Never seen a chocobo up close before? Then have a care you don't stray too near and catch a friendly kick in the face. Hello there, adventurer, and welcome to Bentbranch Meadows. What can I do for you? The meadows here are dedicated to the breeding and raiding of those most majestic birds we call chocobos. 'Twas built with the blessing of the elementals following the calamity. In addition to the stables, we've got fields for growing Gishel greens. I'm gonna say Geishel, and I don't care. And all manner of amenities to ensure that our birds grow clever and strong. Raising fine birds and finding good homes for 'em, nothing gives me and my ranch hands greater joy. Have you heard a word I've said, merchant? I would not trust you with a feather from one of my chicks' heads. Do you honestly believe I would hand over the care of a chocobo to a soulless gill grubber like you? You there, adventurer. Yes, you will advise. I have a job I need performed and I'm willing to pay the going rate. A trifling task, really. I simply need you to ask the locals here at Bentbranch Meadows what the head wrangler covets most in the world. This is a private matter, lest you doubt, so be sure to inquire discreetly. And please, for the love of Null, do not reveal that you are in my employ. In fact, it would be best if my name wasn't mentioned at all. What does Keitha covet most? Why would you wish to know some... Wait a minute, that Ul'dan merchant put you up to this, didn't he? He's wasting his time with that approach. If the man is serious about owning a chocobo, he would be better served by convincing Keitha of his intent to provide the bird with the proper care and attention. Greetings, sir, and welcome. Are you perchance a jockey in need of a new fledgling race chocobo? If so, Katerine and I would be happy to assist you. Nope. Chocobos are as smart as they are sensitive. If you train them with love and care, they will reward you with undying loyalty. Keitha? The only thing Keitha wants is for her birds to be happy. If she cares for anything besides the well-being of chocobos, then I've not heard of it. What's that about, Miss Keitha? You're looking to stir up trouble, son. If you think some shiny trinket will move her heart, then you don't know her like that is, Miss Keitha is only interested in her birds. Listen here, adventurer. If your actions cause her any distress, the wood whalers will come down on you so hard your boots will leak blood. Got that? Well, do you plan to keep me in suspense? I must have a chocobo for my very... What's this? They've told you nothing of her material desires? Oh, look, the stubbornness of the Gridanians is infuriating, and I should have known better than to hire a buffoon for such delicate work. To think of the amount of gil I have wasted on this fruitless venture. Oh, cease your mewling. I promised you a reward, and a reward you shall have. Now leave me to my misfortune. Greetings, sir. You have the distinct air of an adventurer. Might I trouble you for some assistance? In recent days, a heartless cat has been sneaking into the ranch to scare our chocobos. The poor birds are in a state of constant unease, wondering when the next fright will come. It is my hope that extending the fencing will help to keep the intruder out. To that end, could I ask you to procure some strands of dynamite web? They make for a surprisingly sturdy construction material. You should be able to tame the web from the dynamites themselves. There are usually a few to be found roaming the lands around the ranch. 6 strands should be sufficient. Ah, the Gissel greens are not the most luscious specimens. Are these Gissel greens not the most luscious specimens you've ever seen? That they should flourish when the land at large is in a state of such turmoil is a testament to the tireless efforts of all those who have nurtured them. Ah, these precious plants have been sheltered and tended to not only by botanists, but by hearers and soldiers as well. You never set foot in on a ranch before, stranger. Just mind you don't rile up the chocobos now. Sure, look, Fluffy. Bet they like being scratched. Hey, I'm on duty here. Go talk to someone else. Ah, you have returned. Tell me, were you able to procure the dynamite web I requested? Yes, these will do nicely. These are perfect for binding posts together. Were I still in Ishgard, I would never have entertained the notion of using such a bizarre material in this manner. Oh, did I not mention I was from Ishgard? Well, Gridania is, in actual fact, my second home. My native land was once famous for its chocobo stables. No man in Eorzea could speak of the creatures without his thoughts turning naturally to Ishgard. Sadly, however, that time has passed. I left my homeland to accept employment here at the ranch, instructing others in the methods of chocobo husbandry. Yet I have found that it is often I who am the recipient of others' instructions, and on a great many matters. Truly, one can never know what life may hold in store. This is Bentbranch Meadows, adventurer. If you've business at the ranch, then be quick about it. If not, then be gone. I've work to do. Yep, those are Gridanians. I would rather not walk in the middle of the fate to talk to somebody. Another goddamn adventurer desperate to stick his nose in everyone's business, is it? Then seek out the groundskeeper of the Tam-Tara Deepcroft. That's where I'm going. You'll find him in a shack just outside the entrance, as the hermit is all too happy to live close to his work. When last I patrolled that area, I could hear him swearing inside his shack from the road. I know not what vexes the man, but I suspect he'll welcome your presence more than I. To the west of here, you'll find the Tam-Tara Deepcroft. To the east, the Mirror Planks. Both fall under the Wood Whaler's jurisdiction, so be sure to comport yourself respectfully should you pay either such a visit. Let's go down this way first and do the lavender beds. And then we'll go over and do Tam-Tara. I know there are times when we have no choice but to turn to outsiders for help in dealing with our problems. To adventurers like you, for instance. It's just that I wish I was brave enough or strong enough to protect the forest on my own. A good morrow to you, sir. What can I... Ah, you wish to know about the auctions. Very well. Allow me to explain. There is a growing concern that our immigration policies may have been a tad restrictive in the past. And so the Seat-Seer Council and the Order of the Twin Adder have, with the blessings of the elementals, decreed that the lavender beds be set aside for adventurers. Adventurers who possess the necessary funds to purchase and maintain their estates, that is. Should you look upon the beds with your own eyes, though, I think you'll agree that it's well worth the price. Have a word with the skipper over yonder. She'll ferry you across. A recruit stationed at the pier can tell you more about the beds once you've arrived. Are there any for sale? I'm going to guess no, even in a place like Zalera. Ooh, there is one for sale. Oh. Greetings, adventurer, and welcome to the Lavender Beds. Oh, you come at the behest of a Gridanian woman? I regret to inform you that these plots are reserved for adventurers. Your friend will not be permitted to take part in the auctions. You, on the other hand, would be more than welcome to participate. Should you have a mind to purchase a plot for yourself, pray speak with the resident caretaker. He can guide you through the process. Ah, perfect. You're just in time to help deliver some goods that arrived not moments ago. Allow me to double-check my manifest. Now listen carefully. Take the suit of plate mail to Dalamud. He's the guard you see right over there. The moon tui beans belong to Kylie, and the smoked crayfish balls to my friend Bertha here. That's it for this load. A strapping adventurer like you should barely work up a sweat, am I right? The cargo you're looking for hasn't moved since they unloaded it at the end of the pier. Much obliged. You seem a capable sort. Would you mind running over to Lilystone and retrieving my favorite fishing rod for me? I was happily dropping a line into the water, you see, when I suddenly noticed some ghostly sphere of fire bearing down upon me from behind. In a blind panic, I twisted around and flung my rod at the apparition before fleeing back here to the planks. I dimly remember the rod passing straight through those unnatural flames and hitting the side of a tent I set up for afternoon naps. It's probably still there, but I can't bring myself to... You'll go in my stead? Oh, thank you. Why? 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 One, two, three. No, this won't do it all. I'm sure I heard Welfare mention the shipment had... Oh, why thank you very much. It would have been a short afternoon of fishing if the bait hadn't arrived. Huh? You have something for me? Oof, what is... Ah! My new plate mail! And what would a wood whaler want with metal armor, you ask? Let's just say that after a number of engagements with Garlean heavy infantry, my mind has been open to the protection such steel encasements can provide. We hold shipments here until their respective owners come and collect. Unless you have business to attend to, I cannot allow you to enter. They should be here by now. Huh? Are these the moon tui beans? Praise the matron. It's my job to pick up provisions from the pier and deliver them to the settlements in the area, but I couldn't leave without the beans. Now I can finish loading up my cart and be on my way. Thank you for your help. When the winds are calm and the water still, you can see why they chose to call this lake the Mirror. The reflection is as true as any I have known. All done then? Excellent work. Swift and sure. Adventurers are such handy individuals to have around. If we leave cargo piled up in the pier, the next crew have no room to unload their shipment, you see? It can be back-breaking work, but someone has to do it. Why not you? Did you find my fishing rod? Yes, this is it. Thank Nafika you came along. I just can't fish without anything else. The vilekin and such around here pose no threat to me, but those flames, I've never seen the like. I wonder if I will ever build up the courage to fish at Lilystone again. Can I interest you in another job? This one'll ask a little more of your skills, I promise. What I need for you is to swat some of those hornet swarms you see buzzing about the place and collect their husks. About 4 bags worth should be enough. What am I going to do with the pile of dead vilekin? Well, the sooner you give them to me, the sooner you'll find out. Why do my eyes sting? You have the husks? Good, good. Hand them over then. Ah, these are perfect. Hope they didn't sting you too terribly. Now all we do is take some of these bottles of liquor and squeeze the beauties inside like so, and there we have it. A fresh batch of my special sting brew. The ranchers of Bentbranch Meadows put in an order for a bottle quite some time ago, but gathering those husks is always such a chore. Speaking of chores, would you mind taking this to them as soon as you're able? The lass you're after goes by the name of Margol. Give her the sting brew, along with my regards. Oh, and apologies for the delay, would you? Alright, before we do that, we're gonna hit Tam-Tara. After a bit of work, are ye? I have a task what needs doing. Take these Nemea lilies and leave them at the top of each burrow. You've doubtless seen the bones returned to life by foul magics, shambling around and harassing their survivor comrades. It hurts me soul to see it, adventurer. I cannot abide such blasphemy. 'Tis me hope that these lilies soothe their spirits and help them return to the matron's bosom. See me when you've finished. done holy work today, lad. I cannot fathom what could drive the dead to rise up and seek to do us harm, but I pray that this helps put an end to it. May the matron watch over and keep you safe. I shudder to think what might have happened to Isdor had I not thought to pick the fruit I stumbled across on the way here. Sometimes he has too much vigor for his own good. Age is supposed to mellow us, but if anything it has made him more impetuous. I understand his desire to make use of the time left to him, but one misstep and there won't be any. Childish curiosity prompted me to commit the most elementary of blunders. Were it not for the fruit that Alian found, my adventures may well have ended in this forbidden place. Anyways, look before you leap. In my haste, this most fundamental rule of adventuring slipped my mind. I do believe I should rest here for a while. Think of our goal, sister. One day, our adventurers will be the stuff of song, and it'll all be worth it. God, I hate mausoleums. It's not right to disturb the dead in their slumber. So, we meet again. I cannot say I'm surprised to see you here. You took the prize back in Linsa, but this time we will give you better sport, or I'm no true adventurer. By the order of the Elder Seedseer, the Tam-Tara Deepcroft has been placed under control of the Wood Whalers, and the entry restricted to only those who meet the strict condition instilled by the Stillglade Fane. You're Gale Fairheart, I take it. Thanks for helping us out, friend. No doubt the Bow Lord has already informed you, but your task is to enter Deepcroft and purge it of the Lambs of Dalamud. In case you're unfamiliar with them, the cult emerged shortly before the calamity put an end to the Sixth Astral Era. The cultists took to the lesser moon, Dalamud, for their god, believing that it would deliver them from the devastation. And so they were rather disappointed when Dalamud exploded into 1,000 flaming pieces before it could complete its descent. Now, having seen their god turn to ash, one would think that the cultists might feel moved to question their faith. On the contrary, it served only to stoke the flames of their fanaticism. The Lambs of Dalamud are convinced that heretics, that is to say, everyone but them, interfered with the coming of their Lord and Savior, and that it's now their sacred duty to avenge him. Whatever it is they're doing in Deepcroft, you may be sure that no good will come of it. For the sake of Gridania and Eorzea at large, put an end to their madness. Here we go. Maybe not. Let's try again. There we go. Hi, Nim. All right. Nim, that's a really bizarre way to sit in the cat bed. But if you're comfortable. killed the priest of Dalamud. Alright, that's done. And now a new side adventure appears on the way back from Tam-Tara. And I want to remember how to make it not go back to the one from before. Oh, because that was obnoxious. Oh, wait, I think I know what the problem was. Keybind, chat. I don't want to temporarily switch. I want to switch to party. That's why. Okay. Better. And then what do I have for... Chat. You must be desperate to work indeed if you would speak with me a second time. Either that, or you never learned to leave well enough alone. But if you're so bloody eager, then here's another job for you. Head on over to the hedge tree and clear out some nests of saprophagus slugs. All you need to do is sprinkle some of this flat ale on the ground where you find the moist depressions. You should soon be up to your armpits in slugs. Ew. Okay, I think I'm only going to go till 9 because my eyes are bugging the crap out of me. Don't let any of the buggers slither away, and make sure you find and clear out all 3 nests. Alright, I'll go down and do that first. Moist depression. Where's the other one? Oh, there it is. Life without caffeine is hard. Judging by the looks of you, no slug escaped unharmed. I don't suppose you have the faintest notion what the Tam-Tara Deepcroft is, do you? I was just in there. It's the final resting place of those who perished during the calamity. The slugs you so handily dispatched were feeding on the flowers we had lain there in remembrance of the fallen. The monsters multiply and food grows scarce. Perhaps there was naught else for them to feed on, but to see those wreaths disturbed thus was more than I could bear. And now I've said too much. Here, take your reward and leave me be. Yes, I am Morgul. How might I? Ah, the sting brew at last. I am aware of what must be done to acquire this, and am most grateful to you. Few folk are willing to run towards a swarm of wrathful hornets. Ordinarily, this liquor is drunk for the unique and not altogether unpleasant stinging sensation it causes on one's tongue. It is, however, also an indispensable tool for repelling insects. We sprinkle it over the fields where the gisel greens are planted. Thanks to you, the crops will be untouched by pests this year. I hope one of our well-fed chocobos can return the favor by serving you as a mount someday. Oh, I wish. 15, 15, 15. No house for you. Good to see you again, friend. Did you learn anything about the lavender beds? Oh, adventurers only. Is that so? Well, these are trying times, and it's more important than ever for Gridania to attract capable individuals like yourself. Did I cut myself? Speaking of singing sensations, I'm sure that one day my dreams will come to fruition. One day I'll have my own cottage and stables filled with my beloved chocobos. I recall the face of every adventurer who has passed my post, but my duty extends beyond merely monitoring the movements of strangers. As a member of the God's Quiver, I am also charged with identifying those men and women possessed of potentially useful talent. You know who Mother Mion is, brother? You do well to take her advice to heart. There's some say she's overbearing, but without her, we adventurers wouldn't be able to get by here in the Black Shroud. I myself owe her much and more. Welcome back, Gale. I'm reliably informed that your foray into the Deepcroft was a success. Nor did I expect anything less. Baderan's ringing endorsement left me in little doubt as to your capabilities. Even so, you are to be commended. Beaulord Lewin asked me to pass on his thanks. They're there in the background. I must say, it's something of a relief to be able to call upon such a capable adventurer. Sadly, death has become an ever more common occurrence within our fraternity of late. Times being what they are, the guild is constantly inundated with petitions, and we are hard-pressed to find enough hands to deal with them all. While this means no shortage of work for able souls such as yourself, it also provides ample opportunities for the inexperienced to overreach themselves, with predictable consequences. Ah, as if to illustrate the point. Avir's gone, and it's all your fault. If you hadn't taken an age to heal him, he would still be alive. But I tried. He bolted out of range before I could finish the spell. He shouldn't have been so hard-pressed in the first place. We should have done more to lighten his burden. Bah, to the hells with this pathetic excuse for a party. I am leaving, and it'd be too soon if I never see your faces again. Goodbye and good riddance. I'm leaving as well. I doubt this comes as a nice surprise, but I never liked you. I only suffered you for your healing, but you couldn't even do that one thing right. Cruel though this may sound, you brought this upon yourself. Oh, and by the way of some parting advice, get rid of Avir's head. Bury it, cremate it, do whatever the hells you like with it, but for God's sake, stop carrying it around. It's just get rid of it, alright? Wait, don't leave me alone, please. I'm so sorry, Avir. Please forgive me. Scenes like this have become all too common. That makes a dozen times in half as many days. Now you see why I'm grateful for adventurers of your experience. I can send men like you on a mission without worrying that you might not return. Well, not so much at any rate. Speaking of missions, I would entrust you with another. But a bell ago, I received a message from my counterpart in Ul'dah. She seeks the service of a reliable adventurer, and you are nothing if not reliable. If you think you might be interested in the task, say the word, and I will be glad to share the details with you. 17. So, you're not averse to taking a little trip? Wonderful. As I mentioned earlier, the request comes to us from the Adventurers Guild in Ul'dah. Once you arrive, seek out Modi, the proprietress of the Quickstand. Think of her as the Sultanate's version of myself. Chances are she'll send you in the midst of danger, but I have every confidence that you will pull through unscathed. Now, off you go, Gale, and good luck. Farah always treats me like a child. It fair drives me up the wall. My mama never listens to me. I've told her countless times not to venture outside without her parents' permission, yet she never bothers to ask them. Oh, brother. Welcome to the airship landing. And off we go to Ul'dah. And once we get there, I think I'm gonna call it because I'm tired and my eyes are sore. We'll just head upstairs and go to the inn. What may appear to many as a pile of rags can sometimes turn out to be cloth of extraordinary value. It takes the trained eyes of a merchant such as myself to judge the difference. It's an empty quicksand. Ul'dah is known for its merchants, but making your way here as one is no easy thing. 3 reasons for that. Too many trends, too many rivals, and too many lies. I think it's time I replaced my tired old wand, and since we have the Alchemist Guild right here in Ul'dah, I might even treat myself to one of those more expensive custom-made types. Hello, Hello there, traveler. Have you tried any dishes at the quicksand yet? Nothing prepares you for a day of adventuring like a hearty meal, you know? Have a look around you. All manner of folk get caught up in the lure of the quicksand. They gather here to meet and mingle with one another. Of course, you adventurers are less likely to linger long. Aye, your kind is not unlike sand itself. The more tightly we try to hold on to you, the easier it is for you to slip through our fingers. Oh, I know all about your type. My husband used to be an adventurer, you know. Oh, he was quite a gallant hero way back when, but his days of daring do are but a distant memory now. Aye, and his strapping physique as well. Watch yourself, adventurer. These people obsess over coin and ever scheme against their brethren. If even nature conspires against us here. The heat is unbearable, and the sand, God's the sand, it finds its way into every crack and crevice. You got it, sweet cheeks. Full speed ahead. Okay. Is that everybody I talked to? Welcome to the quicksand, friend. I'm a tad busy right now. If you wouldn't mind showing yourself to... Judging by your determined expression, I take it you aren't here for ale. Are you called Gale Fairheart by any chance? Mion sent the word that you were reporting for duty. She also made a point of calling you the adventurer of the moment. That ain't no small praise coming from her. But you didn't come all the way here to listen to my prattle. Doubtless you're eager to get started. So let's talk business, shall we? 1660. 29. Alright, we will... I've dined at many of Wildaw's finer establishments, but none hold a candle to the quicksand. Somehow the ale tastes sweeter when drunk in her presence. I'm going to hop into the inn and call it a night. Alright, so let me turn Gale around here. Good night, folks. Next time we will head into a copper hell. It's not that bad. And then maybe we'll get to move on into more serious MSQ as we wrap up the last of the 3 opening scenarios. And then maybe get to spend some more time with the Scions. So, alrighty. Have a good night all, and I will see you next week.